Okay, so on the topic of LA, let's flip over. How do you feel about Lakers in the playoffs?
Lakers are going to make a deep run, but they're not going to go to the finals. It is what it is.
Whew, bold, okay. Why?
Very bold. Listen, the Lakers, they have Anthony Davis and they have LeBron James. I understand that. But they're just not deep as the Clippers. The Clippers are deep. And the one thing the Clippers, I think, benefited from everybody was this layoff, was this rest. Kawhi Leonard thrives off rest. Paul George needed the rest. Their whole roster needs rest. And that team benefits the most off of it because their star players benefit the most off rest. And plus, they're just deeper.
And I feel like they're hungrier, but I still feel like LeBron James has got something to prove. I mean, you're literally playing in a season where you lost your franchise, like literally the franchise of the entire organization in Kobe Bryant. There's a lot of pressure on LeBron James to make sure that this season ends with a championship. You know, Anthony Davis as well, because he's been criticized his entire career that, you know, he's just been overhyped. He's been injury prone. Anthony Davis got something to prove too. So you put those two guys with that much, you know, motivation. It's going to be scary to see LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and of course those, you know, the rest of the cast of that Laker team not be able to deliver. And then you got, I'm not saying J.R. Smith is going to be a factor, but that guy's been sitting. That guy's been waiting. And J.R. Smith does perform in the playoffs. When asked to knock down shots in the corner, J.R. Smith has come through clutch in some of those Golden State Warriors series. So I'm kind of waiting to see what could happen.
I'll just go ahead, Kay.
I'm sorry. I just want to say this. Right now, we're going to see, I think it was 2001 or 2002, LA screw job with the Sacramento Kings. Right now, the narrative is so perfect for the Lakers to win.
Exactly.
If they win, unless I see it with my own eyes that they beat them, everything is fair.
Right.
I'm calling a screw job right now.
Oh my God.
No, he's not lying. He's not lying. I agree with him there because Sacramento, was that
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
Right.
2002. Yeah.
That was a screw job.
It was, but there was also
that was a screw job.
27
the
foul
Sacramento
shots to
Kings
4.
should have won.
But there was also a famous referee who was betting on the games at the time, who was betting on that specific game. He's not there anymore. Unless
hold on.
You know it's true.
The NBA wanted to see Sacramento and New Jersey in the finals.
I'm not saying they didn't want to.
Listen, David Stern, God rest his soul, but the man was about business. The NBA is business. So the NBA lost a lot of money this year. So what do you do now? You're in Orlando in a bubble. What's the most profit? What's the most profit you're about to receive? And that is LeBron James in the NBA finals.
Yep.
It's gonna happen, and I'm so mad that it's gonna happen, but I don't want it to happen. The Clippers are the better team, and the Clippers should be going to the finals. But with all this narrative about the Lakers and, you know, LeBron James, money lost, they have to find a way to regain revenue. I seriously think that we're about to see a screw job.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's always the case either, Kay. I think one year we were destined to see LeBron versus Kobe in the finals when LeBron was on the Cavs and Kobe was on the Lakers, but we didn't see that happening. LeBron versus Kobe is to say moneymaker is an understatement, right? Like that's what the whole world wanted to see, but it didn't happen, right? And this Lakers and Clippers rivalry and these two teams are very, very close. Like it's very difficult to pick a winner. I'm slightly edging towards the Lakers because I just think coming into this new season, I just think LeBron has a lot more to prove, and he's just and you know, to quote J.R. Smith, he's seeing him a different side of LeBron that he never saw back in Cleveland, right? The pressure is less on him, honestly, and not playing in front of fans, that alleviates a lot of pressure, man, when you don't hear those reactions and, you know, you don't have to worry about kind of, you know, playing a deaf ear to the fans' reactions. So I think LeBron is coming in much lighter, much more physical, and more determined to win. So I don't know if I see a screw job coming in per se.
Okay. So I got a question for you, Kay. So do you feel that this is probably the best team that LeBron has been on? Because, I mean, other than the Miami Heat, I feel that was a special team. With all the help that he has with Anthony Davis and these guys, is this the best team LeBron's had. Because I mean, AJ is right. It's a lot more less stress alleviated from the King.
Oh, of course. This is by far maybe the second best team he's ever been on. I still think that Miami Heat team was far and none the best team he's ever had from top to bottom, from coaching to management to role players. They had everything. But in terms of this Laker team, yes, I think this is the second best team he's ever had.
I will say this though. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go Wes, and then I'll go after.
I was just gonna say, I think the teammates that LeBron James has right now are really tailored towards LeBron James. Anthony Davis is like the perfect player to put beside LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
Dwayne Wade, I mean, Dwayne Wade is probably the best teammate he's actually played with, but the perfect player to put beside LeBron James, Jesus, would be Anthony Davis. And
yeah.
I think that's what really separates the Lakers from me. I know you guys were talking about Clippers-Lakers, and I think everybody is waiting to see them face off in the playoffs. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Losing Avery Bradley and losing Rondo, which Rondo is a negative, but Bradley was so key to the Lakers this year, and I think that's going to hurt them, especially when they're facing Lou Will, Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Hold on. Why is Rondo a negative?
Rondo's okay. Look, man, Rondo was such a bad basketball player this year that they had Lakers fans literally begging during the games to not sub him in. It was bad. It was really to the point where they were like, "Please stop playing Rajon Rondo."
Okay, I'll say this. Apart from one series, which in Dallas that he just wanted to leave.
Right. Yeah.
Playoff Rondo is real.
Yeah. I believe that too.
He's come alive, and when LeBron's on the bench and you have Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo could run the offense and play through Anthony Davis. Like we've seen it done with the Pelicans, where Anthony Davis gets stupid numbers and is just found just because of Rondo.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if you remember that series with Anthony Davis going off, Rondo was another guy who was going off in that series.
Rondo was going off.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So playoff Rondo is real. So I don't want to give that narrative to Rondo. Rondo was a big loss because that's someone who can run your offense if LeBron wants to get 2 minutes, 3 minutes of rest, or 4 minutes of rest. Rajon Rondo could run the offense.
Yeah, but see, that brings me to my point where it's like now you're depending on a guy like J.R. Smith or Dion Waiters to do your thing.
Right.
And I agree with Ray that said, J.R. is clutch. He's showed it before, although we've seen with the 2018 Finals Game 1 and everything like that, and that's built a whole lot too. But he's hit shots. He's hit big shots. Do we trust Dion to do the same? I don't necessarily know.
Dion's upset. He's just an angry player. When you upset and you playing with a sense of urgency like he is, because he didn't like the way things ended in Miami. He's playing with some motivation. You find that a lot. But you're right. I'm not trusting Dion Waiters though. He's just an offensive player. On the defensive end, he's a liability. So it's definitely going to be something that we need to consider. But I'm still thinking J.R. Smith's going to be clutch.
Just one final point before we end this topic, guys, is first game 1 of this regular season coming up, and it's Clippers-Lakers, right? So that's going to tell us a lot because they've already beat them. The Clippers have already beaten the Lakers twice.
Right.
In a normal setting. This is a brand new setting, right? So I feel like what happened in the past is kind of like scraped clean, and this is a brand new setting, a brand new atmosphere. So when we watch that first game between Lakers and Clippers, that's going to set the tone, and maybe we should kind of revisit this topic when we meet up again.
Yeah, but also, I'll just say this, my bad, final point, but, are they even going to care about the game? Because, they're still probably trying to build up, and they're going to slowly try to get minutes for LeBron and them. I know they're not going to just jump in and throw 40 minutes at LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George, right? So.
No, they're not, but I think it'll set the tone a little bit.